What's going on, guys? This is Stone here with a new video. I'm gonna try and embark on a new journey. I haven't really done this. I'm gonna be talking about football, or for my American viewers, that's soccer. Maybe you're not interested in this, but I feel like I need to sort of branch out and do other things. I can't collect wrestling belts all the time. I'm not rich, unfortunately, to be able to bring you reviews on that. But if there are some, I will do that. But anyway, if you didn't know, I'm a fan of Arsenal Football Club, and today it was officially confirmed that Unai Emery is now the head coach of Arsenal, and I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions and try and get yours as well. So let's see what this has to offer. So finally today we got the official confirmation that Unai Emery is now the head coach of Arsenal Football Club after Arsene Wenger stepped down after 22 years in charge. Now, it's important to note that he's come in as what's known as a head coach rather than a manager. So the head coach basically focuses more on the team itself in terms of like the players, how they develop, how they're set up to play. Whereas the manager role, which was what Arsene Wenger was doing, is to manage everything about like the club itself. So he was getting involved in like transfers, incomings, outgoings, such and such. Now, something that sort of piqued my interest in hearing that apparently Mikel Arteta withdrew from the application process, something which Ivan Gazidis denied today at the press conference, is that Mikel Arteta wanted assurances that he pretty much would be fulfilling a manager role. Like, he wanted to know about if he would be able to have the final say on transfers, who he can bring in and such and such. But from what I've read is that the Arsenal board didn't want to comply with this. And that kind of worried me, because even though my opinion was that I would have been less comfortable if Mikel Arteta came in just because he's not proven. I'll get onto that a little later on. But he's not proven at the moment. But it sounded like on paper from what we've heard that he really wanted to like help the club develop. And like if the board weren't even willing to give him a chance, like their full backing, that kind of worried me. However, with Unai Emery, apparently he's a great tactician. I haven't really followed his previous ongoings and such, just because I haven't been into football that much. I haven't had the time. I'm trying to get back into it, thus this video. But anyway, Unai Emery apparently is a great tactician. He's got the former Borussia Dortmund head coach involved, who's been pretty good at like getting rid of some of like the dead weight in the Arsenal team over the past season. Brought in Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Mkhitaryan as well. That deal went through. So if he's got him sort of handling the incomings and outgoings, I'm pretty confident with that. And this means that the head coach, Unai Emery, would then be able to focus on how he sets out the team, how they get on in training, focus directly on the players and how he can develop them. So this was something that apparently really excelled his interview process, because he had written a whole report, presented videos and such on every player and how he can certainly improve them, which is something that I think probably Arsene Wenger was lacking. He seemed a bit too soft in the sense that he didn't call his players out. When they underperformed, he still said to the media that, oh, we showed good team spirit. He never really sort of like gave them a kick up the arse, so to speak. And I feel that they certainly let him down at certain points of the season. For example, the semi-final against Atletico Madrid in the Europa League. You know, they gave all this bullshit about they wanted to do it for the manager and such, but on the day, it's like no one turned up. And, you know, if I was Arsene Wenger, I would have felt incredibly let down. I know he gave them a good sort of like send-off as well when they gave him a send-off. But I was so disappointed just as a fan. I can't imagine realistically how he must have felt as a manager and as an individual. So going back to my comments about Mikel Arteta, for a long time it looked like he was the front runner to get the job, and then all of a sudden Unai Emery comes out of nowhere and now he's got the job. So there was talk about, you know, maybe giving it to an old Arsenal legend, for example, Patrick Vieira or Thierry Henry, someone like that, someone who had like a real impact in the club during its best years as well. With Mikel Arteta, apparently he seemed like a good leader. There was talk that he was a good leader when he was the captain of Arsenal, but quite a lot of the time it didn't look like he grabbed the players by the scruff of the neck, and we still really sort of were declining at that time. We weren't really excelling. He seemed like a panic buy at the time as well. I don't know. For me, I just didn't feel like I would have felt a bit worried if we put Mikel Arteta in place. Having said that, though, being the number 2 under Pep Guardiola, he might have learnt a thing or two, like for the season or so he was there, or is there, sorry. And who's to say he could still become like a top head coach or manager. But I just think for what Arsenal need right now, and that's basically the season just gone was our worst season. So it's like we really need something to improve us. Even if we finish, say, 5th or 4th, I'd say that's a good season in the first year under Unai Emery. So with Mikel Arteta, it just wouldn't instill confidence in me, and I'd still sort of be worried. And if it doesn't work out, are we going to sort of be like Manchester United in a constant phase of transition? Who's to say? I won't go into too much detail about that now because it's not talking about Arsenal Football Club. But yeah, I wouldn't have felt confident. Just on paper, what we need right now is better results. And I think with his CV, Unai Emery, I'm content with that. I feel a bit more confident. If he can replicate the sort of results or good results that he's done as his career's gone on, I'll be happy with that. I'm looking forward to how he sets up the team, what he instructs them. Apparently he wants to give central roles to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Aaron Ramsey. So I'm wondering what he's going to do there. With all of that being said, does this put more pressure on Unai Emery to succeed at Arsenal Football Club? Does it put more pressure? Do the fans have to put more pressure on him? Now that he's got, some more experience than, say, Mikel Arteta. There's always talk about the Arsenal fans will give him a chance, but just say things go pear-shaped or they stay around the same sort of level in the first year, how will we react? I'm certainly going to think I'll give him time. If we do sort of stay around the same level at the end of next season, it's a bit worrying, but he's only got a 2-year deal, but I'll be fully behind him, as much as I can be. So he's won the Europa League 3 times in a row with Sevilla. That's quite instills some confidence. I'm just wondering, does it put more pressure on him to succeed than, say, Mikel Arteta? Since he doesn't have the experience, you might think, okay, he needs to find his feet. But are fans wanting instant success? There's been some votes that say Arsenal can win the league in the next season. I think that's a push too far, but if it happens, it happens, It could happen. The fact that he's a great tactician and the amount of work he puts into preparing for matches certainly is impressive, and I wish I could have the energy to do that with certain things. So I wish him all the best of luck with that. So anyway, there we have it. Unai Emery is now the official head coach of Arsenal Football Club after Arsene Wenger stepped down after 22 years in charge. If people are willing to comment on this, what do you think about it? Are you happy with this? Do you feel confident? How far do you think he can go in the first season, let's say? I'm quite interested to see if we're going to bring any players in, who's going to go out. I was thinking maybe we'd get in a new goalkeeper since Petr Cech doesn't seem as good as he was at Chelsea. Maybe that's coming with his age, but Arsenal just given him the number 1 jersey, which seems to signal that he's going to be our first choice keeper for this season at the very least. So overall, I'm quite happy with the appointment. I'm really looking forward to the new season already. I want to see how things pan out. Hopefully we can start the season with a win, whoever we face, compared to last season. So all the best to Unai Emery. As an Arsenal fan, I'm certainly hoping for great things, or good things at least, if we can at least get back into Champions League, which is what he wants to do. I suppose that's a good start, So anyway, Unai Emery, now the head coach of Arsenal Football Club, and let's roll on the new season. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.